Yo, what's going on, guys? So normally during an league start, I'm playing for like a week or two, trying to make as much currency as possible, and then I'm starting to make my currency making strategies videos. But this time around, a lot of people are struggling with currency, so I decided to start doing my tests much earlier. So today I'm gonna bring you a first one, which is the way I was making my currency for the past around a day. So this currency strategy is basically a boss rushing combined with heist and essences. So to be able to do that, you pretty much need to complete your atlas fully, so you can get a lot of atlas passive points, and then you're gonna start doing tier 14 maps. And the reason why I want to do tier 14 maps is because not only bosses are weaker than tier 15 and 16, but on top of that, in this league, if you look at the tier 14s, there are some pretty good layouts in there. So there's Ashen Woods, which is one of the best maps for boss rushing because it is a very small map. Plaza is not so great. Underground Sea is actually decent, but the boss has two phases, so it's not like insane. And Mesa is also the second one of the best maps, and Armor is also not so great. But out of the four maps, we have two that are very nice, which basically means you can buy a ton of tier 14 maps on TFT for like 3 chaos, and then use Horizon Orb and Horizon Orb them into, well, this time I got pretty unlucky, but on average you are gonna get very often Ashen Woods and Mesa. So as you can see here, I have 3 Ashen Woods and 1 Mesa. So the strategy is basically kill a boss, pick up the smuggler caches, and kill the essence if you can kill it. So to do that, I am using my Atlas passive skill tree, basically to get as many Guardian map drops as possible from the bosses. So I'm using the Shaper and Elder, Conqueror, Synthesis, on top of that additional progression for Searing Exarch, chance to spawn the altar at the beginning, which is also pretty decent, and all of the heist nodes for additional, mostly just for additional blueprints and markers, and all of the essence nodes, and I'm killing 1 guaranteed essence. And the way you're gonna farm heist and contracts is you're gonna use the map device to get 2 additional smuggler caches, and thanks to the sextant you're also gonna get a third one. But there's actually a slight difference between these two modes. This one says 2 additional smuggler caches, and this one just says area contains smuggler cache. And what this basically does, it replaces the natural chance to get a smuggler cache and basically gives you a guaranteed one, which basically means any additional chance for smuggler cache from Atlas passive tree does not do anything when you are using this sextant. So basically you're always gonna have 3 of them and you will never find a 4th one. And because of that, I also went for the harvest to basically just try to find as many bosses as possible to see if they are actually pretty common, but I actually haven't found a single one during this test. In terms of other passes, I just went for additional chance to duplicate the maps, mostly for the Guardian maps, and that's basically it. So again, just chance for Guardian maps, chance for to duplicate them, all of the essence, all of the heist nodes, and Searing Exarch, and block every content except for heist and harvest. But to be honest, you can also probably maybe remove the expedition, and expedition could be also something nice to do. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you an example. So put the void stones back. Also for this strategy, you want to have a pretty fast character that can also do a nice single target. Gonna enter, actually I'm gonna do, actually let's do Mesa. Heist, Searing Exarch, and that's basically it. So each map costs 3 chaos for a map, plus like half a chaos for horizoning, 6 chaos for map device, and for the sextant I was paying around 10C, so it's like 2 to 3 chaos per one.
I cannot do this yet.
Here's the first one, so I always count them
Return
up.
to
There's
Kitava.
number 1. Now I'm gonna kill a boss. And it's good. Guardian map, pretty lucky. Now I'm gonna search for the second and third one. I'm gonna check the altar, because if there's something nice, like for example Eldritch Emblems, I'm also killing monsters a little bit, not too much. I'm still focusing on finding caches. So in my opinion, Mesa is actually a bit better than, I mean, Ashenwood is a bit better than Mesa, because Mesa has a lot of like the side areas that you have to go to search for the smuggler caches, and Ashenwood is just one small open area, which means it's a bit easier. So this is the second one, so now just one more. And I'm also looking for the lake. Oh, and I'm also gonna kill this guy because he gives a lot of markers. This guy is because of this passive. So here's the third one. And normally I would leave, but I also want to show you the lake. So basically I would search for the boss, search for the caches, and then I would leave. And if I found the tablet on the way or essence, I would do it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to search for the tablets or essences. But yeah, I want to show you how I am doing the link mechanic, because this is actually very good synergy with boss rushing. You can make a lot of tablets if you are doing maps super fast. So what I would do is I would block the just the generic reward rooms that are tier 1, so cold one, physical, and the chaos. Now I would look at the tile and figure out how I can make the longest chain. So here I can probably start over here and go maybe like that. So I'm gonna remove this one and put it in here. This is tier 3, so I'm gonna put it somewhere, let's see here. And that's basically it. And then I would just continue finishing it, going maybe like this. So the next move would be probably to remove this tile, put it here, and then maybe next one put it here, start putting new ones over there. And I would mostly focus on the generic rewards, because after buffs, generic rewards are pretty nice, but you want to have them tier 3. So with these like 3 lines or 4. And then I would just leave. So you do maps basically as fast as possible, loot the contracts and stuff, essences, and guardian maps. So now let me show you the loot. So here are all of the contracts and blueprints that I got, and I did 100 maps. So this is loot from 100 of these maps. So all of the contracts, blueprints, I actually got unlucky and I got only 2 fully revealed blueprints. 0 with 4 wings. And fully revealed you get because of this one. And they can actually be pretty good. You can sell them for like 50 chaos plus. And here are all of the markers that I got, so more than 150k. Twins, which you can sell for like 20-25 chaos. All of the lakes that I got. And here are all of the invitations and guardian maps. I actually got unlucky with the Conqueror maps. I did not get a single one. And here are all of the other unique map contracts, but I did not include them in the test results because it is pretty hard to sell them. But the twins you actually can sell pretty fast. So now let me show you the spreadsheet. So I did pay 3.5C per map because I'm counting also the horizons. And sextons, 25 of them for 100 maps, and price of them right now is around 9k. As you can even buy them, as you can see here on TFT, for maybe even 8 sometimes, depending. Not even TFT, just trade. Yeah, so 9, 8, 10. It really depends on the moment. And map device mods 6C, so a little bit more than 1000k as investment. The time was somewhere around 3.5 hours. I actually took a few breaks, and the time was actually like almost 4 hours, like 3.9, but I actually took a lot of breaks, so I reduced it down to 3.5. And here are all of the categories of profit. So more than 1000 chaos from contracts, 600 from blueprints, 400C for markers, 4 twins contracts, so 100 chaos, and here's all of the other loot, so mostly essences. Guardian maps and invitations for 180, so in total 18 divines. It's gonna be pretty awkward to get used to calculating everything in divines and not exalts. So per hour I was making 5x per hour. So for a league start, it is actually okay. I don't think it's like crazy good profit, but considering it is very easy, you mostly make your profit just from clicking smuggle caches, which pretty much everyone can do. You can even just skip essences, you don't have to kill them if you don't have enough damage, and on top of that you actually can even skip a map boss. So because of that I did another calculation, how much would you make if you literally would just enter a map, search for 3 caches and leave. Don't kill even a single monster. So here's all of the loot. So contract, blueprints and the markers and twins. In total you would make 8 divines. So instead of 18 you would make 8. So a little bit less than a half. But you would do it much faster. This is why I didn't calculate how much you would make per hour, but this is basically a strategy for people that just don't do any damage but they have very fast character. You can literally just pick up chests, leave, and that's it. But obviously there's one issue with the strategy, which is selling all of these contracts and blueprints. But to be honest, now heist is one of the most popular strategy. A lot of people are farming heist, so it's not even that hard to sell them. And obviously prices may change a little bit. You can see all of the prices here, but it is actually pretty decent, pretty easy to sell them nowadays. And also what you can do, if you think that it's gonna take a long time, what you do is you literally just go to TFT, you post all of your contract blueprints, and then you don't even have to AFK and wait for them to sell. You can just, if you have more maps, you can literally just run them, and every 10 minutes you just post it on TFT, and you don't even lose that much time to sell the contracts and blueprints. You just have to remember to constantly post it on TFT. So it's not even that hard and not that time consuming. And the last thing I want to mention is the mirror tablet. If I actually didn't go for mirror tablet, I think I would be making 6, maybe even 7 exhausts per hour, because it is actually pretty time consuming to do them. Most of the time when you, as you could see in the example map, there was a lot of monsters around the tablet, so you can't just sit here and figure out the choice, and time doesn't stop for you. You have to kill everything around you, and from time to time another monsters go to you. So it's actually taking a lot of time. Also, you have to think how to do it and so on. So it is pretty time consuming. But after the buffs to the lake, I want to test it out to see how it is, and this is the good way to get as many tablets as possible. So probably in the next day or two, I'm gonna do a test with tablets and figure out how much money we can make with tablets that I'm making myself. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.